This is a video a technical demonstration really of my Yamaha DX5 that I'm going to be listing on eBay very shortly under the username Mr. T4DVD. That's MRT number 4 DVD with a starting price of £399 on auction for 10 days. So if you're interested, keep your eye out there. This first video I'm just going to go around the whole keyboard to point out any blemishes. It is in really good condition. There aren't many blemishes, but I want anyone who's buying it to know exactly what they're getting. So I'm just going to go all the way around it. Just bear 1 second. You see there's a mark on the corner here. If you do see anything that you want to know or any inquiries that you don't find the answer to in my eBay listing or any of these videos, then please drop me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions or provide any more information that you want. There is a small, you see there, there's a small mark there on this side. I think overall, given the age and the scarcity of these DX5s, this is a really good condition. I think you're unlikely to find one in better condition. Just refocus that. As you can see, the LCD display does work perfectly, but the backlight doesn't work on it. I know they can be replaced, but I didn't want to open it up and start messing around with it, so I thought I'll sell it, and if whoever's buying it wants to have the backlit LCD, there are lots of people who can do it for you if you're not that technical yourself. Although I believe it is quite easy to do yourself as well if you're that way inclined. Just on the back. There are a few scratches on the bottom of the keyboard, maybe where it's had a stand attached to it. I'm not going to try and lift it up and show you in this video. I'll probably stick a couple of pictures in the eBay listing, but again, if you want to know anything else, just ask me. I think there is one tiny blemish there. Overall though, I think it's brilliant condition and perfectly working as well, as I'm going to demonstrate in the next video. In this video I'm just demonstrating that all the buttons on the keyboard work and all the lights on each button worked as expected. So starting off with the operator inputs, you can see that first one lit up there. You can go through each button there. And then these are the performance buttons, so if I zoom out you'll see that as I change the performance buttons, the selected voices on the other side, they change. Now, as I will mention in my listing, one of the only unfortunate things is that the cartridges aren't included, so even though these buttons light up, if you press them you'll just get a message saying cartridge not ready on the display. not having the cartridges isn't half as much of a problem as you'd expect, because there are millions of resources on the internet for downloading patches, and it's really easy to transfer them to the synthesizer as well, which I'll show you in one of the other videos. Thanks. The video is to demonstrate all the different sliders and other features on the keyboard working. So first of all, I'll show you the volume, which is on. Start off in the middle. It's going to be quite tricky with one hand, but I'll give it a go. And then the balance between instrument A and instrument B that you've got selected. So I'll start off with it all the way on A, then I'll slide it to instrument B, and then there is a little just click in the middle so that you can know exactly where it's when the balance is even. That's when it's all on B. That's when it's all on A, and then in the middle where you get both instruments combined. Portamento. And the data entry one, but I can't really demonstrate that in this video, but that does work as well. The pitch bend. Modulation. And one other thing that I'll demonstrate in this video is the aftertouch, which I've read that the aftertouch is something which does go on the old DX5s and DX7s, although it works perfectly on this one, so just to demonstrate. So that's without aftertouch, and then with the aftertouch. This video is purely a demonstration to show that all the keys on the synthesizer work. And that's it. I think I've just about demonstrated all the features that I can think of, but if there's anything else you want to know, then just drop me an email or reply to this video and I'll add the information. Cheers. One thing that I did mention earlier was that the cartridges which originally came, the ROM cartridges, which came with the DX5, aren't included. I've never owned those, but I've never found it much of a problem because it is really easy to connect your keyboard to your computer via MIDI and to send sysx patches to the synth. So this is just a little demo to show you how easy it is. So you won't, I mean, you can obviously create instruments yourself, but you won't be just stuck with the ones which come on the keyboard, on the synthesizer, because there are tens of thousands of different patches of varying qualities that you can find very easily on the internet. If you just do a Google search for, well, DX7 patches, they tend to be that, because this is basically a glorified DX7, which is probably doing it an insult, but let me just show you how easy it is. So first of all, you can see on, if I go onto memory bank A1, you can see it's got solo, analog, lead synth 1, lead synth 2, lead synth 3, lead synth 4, analog synth 1, analog synth 4 from the patch the bank that's in there already. I'm going to take a different bank on my computer. You won't be able to see that more than likely. Let me just. So I'm using a program called DX Manager, which is only, I'm on the trial version, but it's only $20 to buy, so it's very cheap. I'm going to select all the instruments on that bank, and then if I go on to, now this won't work, but I'll show you why it won't work. If I put send patch or bank to synth, send bank, and it comes up with an error. This is worth knowing if you don't already, saying MIDI error, memory protected, because by default when you turn it on, it won't let you send the bank to the synth. So what you do is you press function and then P7, and press that until it shows on the display internal memory write protect on. Now this is a good chance because now I can show you these buttons which I haven't demonstrated before. If I press that to off, and now look on the display, it's got memory write protect off, and then quit out function mode. Now another thing that's worth knowing is that whichever bank you've last touched, when you do the send, it's going to send it to that bank. So if I press that now, so that on my keyboard it's going to play bank A, and then when I send the voices to the synth, it'll put them into bank A. If I press that, even though nothing looks like it's changed on the synth, when I send the bank, it's going to send them to bank B. So I'll press A again. So where I've got A1 at the moment is that solo instrument. I'm going to do the same thing on my synthesizer, on my computer again, sorry. Tool, send banks. Now you should see that instrument change on there. There you go. So now, if I press the different instruments, I've got 106 strings, 30 SC synth. As you can see, all the instruments in that bank have now changed. I'm now going to press, so on B1 I've got Vaffanculo, Piano CP70, Grass Brass, Celli Max, fixed strings. I'm now going to send a different bank, which will be just a sound effects one, and I'm going to go on to my computer, send the patch. So again, you'll see the display change there. Send bank. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Heavy rain. So now, if you look here, I've got heavy rain, thunder, storm, water drop. So it is literally seconds to change all the instruments, and you can have as many banks saved. You can create your own banks. MIDI Quest is another program that I've got that's very good for managing the instruments, because another feature with these programs is you can actually, rather than using the editing features on the synthesizer, you can actually edit it on your computer screen and audition the changes in real time. So basically, if you wanted to perform live and you didn't want to have a PC hooked up to it, you'd be limited to having 64 instruments rather than the cartridge, which would give you an additional 64. But in terms of day-to-day use, then just having it connected to computer, it's so easy for changing. It literally takes seconds. Thanks.